Hello everyone, hope you're doing great. So today we have an article. This article mainly deals with governance, and this can be a very well article to be studied for our governance and general studies paper 2. So let's understand what this article tells us. First of all, the headline, of course, is connecting the dots to boost the patent ecosystem. So this article talks about the patent ecosystem present in India. Now, the one thing that you can study as well for this is the Indian patent law, right? Indian patent law or system. So, Indian patent system, the basics of it would be 20 years a patent is granted, and there's a patent exam that happens to be present, and there are people who certify this. There's an authority. Everything that patent and patenting in India covers, you should be aware of it. Now let's understand what this article is telling us. So um, the first thing this article tells us is why there is a requirement for an urgent invest in patent ecosystem, right? So why India needs to urgently invest in its patent ecosystem? Why this article tells us, it gives us the why, right? The robust patent system for knowledge economy and for promoting technological innovations. So the first thing that's most important is innovations can only happen when there's a robust patent system present in the country, right? Let's read ahead. The total number of, so the second thing is statistics. The total number of patent applications filed in India, which has been doubled during the last decade, and for the first time the number of patent applications by residents, that means Indian citizens, has surpassed that of the foreign applications during the last quarter of the financial year 21-22. So there are two things: the final quarter of 21-22, right? And in the final quarter of 21-22, the resident applications are more than foreign applications, right? The second thing is that within a decade the application rate has doubled. Next thing is the EAC-PM report. The EAC's Economic Advisory Committee for the Prime Minister. The Economic Advisory Committee for the Prime Minister, the EAC-PM, right? This is by a report. Now, this report tells us is a long pendency of processing patent applications in India, and therefore it is recommended several measures. So we have to understand what are the measures that have been recommended by this committee, right? Measures recommended by this committee. The first is, of course, increasing the efficiency of the processing patent applications to improve the patent ecosystem in the country, right? The next thing we have to study is we have to investigate the patent ecosystem more closely to connect the dots. What does this mean is they want to improve the patent system keeping in view the national innovation ecosystem. So this can be used exactly in the answer, the national innovation ecosystem. They want to improve this, right? The second thing that they talk about is abandoned applications. So the report tells us about abandoned applications. Now here are a few statistics for this as well. Indian Patent Office increased the total number of patent applications to the IPO. The Indian Patent Office increased by 48% between 10 and 11 to 20 to 21, 1 decade, right? So that's why they're saying doubled, largely driven by applications by the residents. Interestingly, the number of abandoned patent applications also increased in an astonishing rate during this period. So what does abandoned patent mean? They have explained it below in the article. What they're saying is the latest annual report 2019-20 of Office of the Controller, this is important now, Office of the Controller General of Patents, Designs, Trademarks and Geographical Indicators, right? CGPDTM CGPDTM, Office of Controller General of Patents, Trademarks, Controller General of Patents, Design, Trademarks and Geographical Indicators, right? Show that the number of abandoned patent applications on account of not meeting. Why are they abandoned? Because they're not meeting the requirements under two sections, that is two sections, section 9A and section 21(1), right? Section 9 clause 1 and 21 clause 1. What are they? They have discussed it below as well. Of the Patent Act grew from 55,186 in 1011 to 23,000 in 1920, right? So from 5k to 23k in just a decade. This is the number of abandoned applications, right? And the share of such abandoned patents in the total number of patent applications soared from 13% to 48% in 1920. 13 say 48%, right? 13 say 48%. This is the rise in abandoned applications in a decade. All right. सेक्शन 9 क्या बोलता है? सेक्शन 9 क्लॉज 1 कहता है पेटेंट एक्ट का, those applications accompanied by provisional, that if there's a provisional specifications, then they have to be supported by complete specifications, right? This is one reason for failure to comply. The second is 21 clause 1. 21 clause 1 requires the patent applicants to refile, right? Refile the documents if the patent examiner, जो examine करता है patent examiner finds them not meeting the requirements due to any reason whatsoever. You'll have to refile the patent if the requirements are not met, right? Let's understand next. A plausible reason for that could be that the applicant are not confident that their application passing the scrutiny again, and therefore do not pursue their application. So the applicants are, pervasive that they don't want to pursue their patents because there's a chance they might be rejected again, right? Especially in the case of innovations with a short lifespan, the innovations that have a very short lifespan, that long pendency discourages the applicants from following up on their applications, right? There's a long pendency, so you will not be ready to file the applications, even to refile the applications if it's rejected once. But certainly there's an aspect of patent ecosystem where we need more information to connect the dots, right? The second is key issue is National Intellectual Property Rights Policy. So National Intellectual Property Rights Policy, there's a policy mentioned here, 2016. This policy is from 2016. There's a lot of emphasis has been attached to the filing of patent applications, right? Emphasis on filing of patent applications. Filing on patent applications. Now again, this was supposed to be a good move, but again there came a what we can say is a loophole that came out to be. The loophole was that their claims will not pass scrutiny. This was happening much more because they were more into filing the patents, but problem is that their the claims were not able to pass the scrutiny, right? So again they were told to either refile, and then again the process began. So eliminating such perverse incentives itself will add to improving the patent ecosystem of India, right? Pervase means basically to have a different sort of understanding or a way, and it also means that in a different way, so or an opposite liking to something than it's intended to. The next thing important in this article is the share of, so it's talking about education sector now, right? The share of sector in the gross domestic expenditure on research and development, right? The higher education sector he's talking about, and this is the third point now. The share of this sector in the domestic expenditure on R&D, GERD, increased from 5% to 7% in 2018, right? And this is as per the UNESCO report, UNESCO data on science and technology and innovation, right? The next thing that he talks about is top 10 academic institutions of India in terms of number of patent applications rose more than 2 times in 4 years, from 838 to in 1516 to 2500 in 1920, right? But now comes the problem. Here comes the problem. What the author is telling us is that their share in patent applications, the residents also doubled from 6.4 to 12%, right? The problem is here now, priority it attaches to commercially significant technological innovations. Commercially significant technological innovations. This is something important that needs to be understood. When higher education sector increasingly focus on development part of research and development, it is also expected that the collaboration between industry and academia will also increase in the area of research and development. But the reverse is true in case of India. So this is the problem that you are facing. This is the third point. Pros and cons both you have understood कि higher education में development में पैसा लग रहा है. There is a significant amount that is being spent on development of new technologies. The problem is the companies, the industry are looking for commercially significant technological innovations, right? So that is why the problem due to this, that we expected a collaboration, an increased collaboration between industry and academia, but this is not happening. So this is what we are concerned about. Next, the fourth point the author tells us about is the Global Innovation Index, GII, Global Innovation Index. It is prepared based on the score each country gets under 80, and one indicator, right? One indicator for this is how the industry academia collaboration is one, right? So since this has declined over the few years, right? From 47.8 in 2015 to 42, from 47 to 42. This is GII. There is Global Innovation Index. Global Innovation Index. Industry academia collaboration is one of an indicator. Is one of the India score for indicator has declined. One score for this indicator. Consequently, India's ranking. Now the ranking in the GII indicator has declined from 48 to 65. This is now something that we can quote in our exams. India's ranking has declined. Now what the author again says is from 2015 the ranking has improved 81 in 2015 to 46 in 21. This has improved significantly, right? All right, moving ahead, the draft of the National Auto Policy points out that collaboration between industry and academia in India has been limited to niche research areas. Very niche research areas, for example, biotechnology, something else that have low commercial significance, admits that innovation from India originating from collaborative research projects and implemented and commercialized in the automotive space have been scarce. What does this tell you? For a given example, Tata Motors recently came out with a driver monitoring system for its trucks, right? This is a personal example that I'm quoting. But driver monitoring systems have already been implemented in developed countries and in developed cars, high-end cars for that matter. For example, Lexus has one, Tesla has one, Toyota has one, right? But apart from this, automotive innovations has been absent in the automotive industry in India. This is not confined to the automotive sector, but is a phenomena prevalent across most sectors in India, right? As the patent system is a critical aspect of national innovation ecosystem, investing in the patent ecosystem will help in strengthening the innovation capability of India. The right interventions should be made for the promotion of the quality of patent applications and collaboration between academia and industry. Academia. So I'm really sorry. Academia and industry. So this is what this the last part is very important and gives a huge and great insight of how we can conclude this answer. I am going to repeat this once more. As the patent system is a critical aspect of national innovation ecosystem, investing in the patent ecosystem will help in strengthening the innovation capability of India. The right interventions should be made for promotion of quality of patent applications and collaboration between academia and industry. And here we finish with the article. This was a very interesting article to study because it gives us a glimpse of a particular problem that is happening, and this question can be made and put up in the governance section of our exam. So hope you liked it, everyone, and please do subscribe and share if you felt it was nice. And thank you for watching. All the best for exams, and do share and subscribe and keep supporting us. Thank you, everyone.